Hey guys, welcome back to Ultimate S&S. So in lieu of tonight's live stream, we're going to go ahead and put another video out. I want to take a moment to just touch base on the previous video we put out. So I wanted to clarify a little bit here. If you use diatomaceous earth in your garden, be responsible with it. I think a lot of things go without saying, but apparently they don't. So let's go ahead and clarify this. Use a mask when you're using diatomaceous earth. You don't want to breathe that stuff in. It is not a chemical, but it is basically just burnt bone that's been ground down. So the reason I show diatomaceous earth and using it on plants that don't have flowers yet, okay, or if it's a self-pollinating plant that bees will not go to, probably okay. But typically you use that on little plants that are not blooming. And when you get to a point where they are blooming, you want to use things like neem oil and stuff like that as well, just so you don't kill your pollinators. Things like that I thought went without saying, but we need to clarify, guys. So that's what I would recommend. Now, for those who say that diatomaceous earth is a bad idea, I've been using it for years with great success. As far as I know, I haven't been killing any bees. I haven't seen any bees dead around my plants. I'm looking at solutions where, yes, if you know how to process neem oil, that's great. That's awesome. You know, I'd love to have you in my group. You should make a video on how to do that. But this is a sustainability channel. So products that I use, that I go out and purchase, it is something that you can make here at your own home. And the way you would make diatomaceous earth is to make it like they use over, you know, what you buy in the store. You're going to use bone a lot of time. You can use shell. And what you do is you heat that up and you're cooking all of the bacteria and things like that out of it, and then you're pulverizing it down in a grinder down to a powder, a very light powder, and that powder still has sharp edges and stuff on it, and that is what actually kills the bugs and stuff. So, and it's not a chemical, but there's a difference between food grade diatomaceous earth and non-food grade, and basically the difference is the type of stuff that they use in it. They use more of types of shell and things in the food grade, and the non-food grade is typically bone and stuff. But understand, non-food grade diatomaceous earth, that's usually used in baking, believe it or not. The food grade stuff is the non-food grade that you use that around the house. It costs a lot less. Now if you're going to be using that on, say, your flocks and things like that, because I use a lot of diatomaceous earth in with my sand baths and stuff, along with hardwood ash, you mix that in, and you want to make sure it's food grade, just so that there's no extra stuff in it. But if you're making it yourself, you don't have to worry about them putting any kind of chemicals and stuff. There are companies that put chemicals in that as well. So I hope that kind of clarifies that a little bit. Now, with that out of the way, if you haven't seen about the new members channel that we have on here, I say channel, the members tab, that what that's going to be is it's going to be receiving more in-depth videos on certain types of things, whether it be political, religious, and stuff as well. If that's something that you're interested in, that's what that is set aside for. If you're not interested in that type of stuff, folks, don't sign up for it. The reason I say that is for people who want to find more information on some of the stuff that we talk about. And if you're not liking that narrative of it, then find a channel that you do like the narrative on. Some of those videos that are in members, they will receive exclusive views on that, then it will get released here, but there will be some videos that will be members only. So I've got that priced, I think it's like $2 starting off or something like that. And that's not to sell you the content, that is to secure the people that are coming in there, to make sure that they want to be there, that they want to view it. It's not going to be an accident that, well, I didn't realize this is what it was. I want you to understand what it is. So that's going to be like some of the live streams we've had where we take things into a deep level and stuff. So, and that's going to be more over on that side, because it's going to be easier to freely discuss what's going on. That will be an unmonetized type of video selection in that, guys. So we'll see how it goes, but I think everyone will enjoy the content there. But now that that's out of the way, there's so much stuff when you do anything new with the channel, you want to make sure people know, and a lot of times I'm probably the worst at that. But around here, everything's been going really good. So today I went ahead and thinned out my corn a little bit more, because there was a few that was kind of questionable. Maybe they'd be too close. So I pulled a lot of that stuff up and then just ripped it up into about 2 to 3 inch pieces and throwed that out to the chickens. And they have devoured all of it. I mean, it's gone. They eat the roots and all. Just shake the dirt loose, or you don't have to. I like to shake the dirt loose and then throw it out there and they eat it up. So that gives them something to eat there as well. And something else that I'm doing is I'm taking my old quail eggs, because my chickens are getting close to laying age now. And I take those out and I dry them out real good, and I crush them down so they don't resemble an egg. And I throw it out to the chickens, and they devour that stuff up. It's gone. And hopefully it doesn't cause a situation where they're going to be eating their own eggs. I don't think that's going to happen because it's smashed down, it's pulverized. But we'll just have to wait and see. But that's a good, easy, cheap way to give your birds extra calcium. And if you see that they're going to be eating their eggs, chances are you're going to have an issue with that anyway. And I don't know if you can train a hen not to do that. So if you get a hen to eat their own eggs, it's probably time to, think about making some barbecue or something fried up would be my suggestion on that. But if you have a way to make a hen stop eating eggs, then definitely let people know in here in the comment section, guys. I want the comment section to be open for anyone who wants to say stuff. But understand that my way is not the only way to do it, and your way is not the only way to do it. I'm showing what I do here and what works for me, and what I'm going to be able to sustainably do on my own when everything collapses. Now, when you come up and you say, well, you can buy this and you can buy that, if it's not something I can process here, it does me no good. And that's just the reality of it. I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of stuff right now, because if fertilizer costs are what they are, I can only imagine what some of the recommendations of stuff cost. I know neem oil used to be rather expensive. I don't know what it's cost now, but I will have a thing of neem oil, because I think you should have some. Because when the flowers, or when the plants come into flower or into bloom, you're going to need something if you're getting caterpillars and beetles and stuff like that as well. So the diatomaceous earth works if you can catch it before bloom. Typically, you have to be doing that early on, like I've been doing, and that just creates a situation where pests don't typically come around. But if you just let your garden go and everything's blooming, you start going out there blowing that stuff around, you're probably going to kill a bunch of honeybees. So now that we've got all of that straightened out, squared away, I hope people understand a little bit better. Guess I should explain that in the other video, but like I say, people on this channel seem to be intelligent, so I don't always go into that stuff. I just show you what I'm doing and understand if your stuff is at the step of where I'm at, then it's probably safe to do it. If you see me change things up, there's probably a reason why. And I try to explain that if I can, but understand that when it comes to videos and things like that, that's in between me actually working around here. This is not my begin all and end all to my day making videos on YouTube, but I want to show people that it can be done and how to do it, and how to do it easily, so it's not going to cost you a lot of money, and so it's going to be something that you yourself can do. Because understand, these projects I've got going, it's just me. It's one person doing it. If you're married, you've got two people to help. If y'all have got kids, that's even better. If you have grandkids, then hey, get the whole family together and y'all work on some sustainability over the weekends where you can see the grandkids and kids and stuff like that. Work it into your family time, because you're going to be teaching. You're going to teach them the steps of what needs to happen. So, but I hope everyone's having a great day out here so far. Tomorrow is supposed to be another beautiful day from what it looks like, and I am thinking about maybe doing some fishing tomorrow morning. It's going to depend on a few things. Like, one, I don't know what the school schedule is. I think everybody's back in school here, but I'm gonna go check out some of my favorite fishing holes and see how that goes. They are unfortunately popular because they are good fishing holes, but I think I've got an edge on people where I can get out early enough, because most people are going to be working. So that usually helps me out a little bit. But there are usually some of the old-timer retirees out there I like to talk with, and you can learn a lot of stuff, like what's hitting in that area, what seems to be the best bait right now. Sorry, my glasses got messed up outside today. I was fighting a tree limb and it knocked my glasses off. They're kind of bent up, warped up, man. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So, but yeah. I think that's, hang on a second. I don't know who that is. Sorry, guys. Okay. It looks like I live at the end of a street, and sometimes it looks like people are coming into the yard or pulling into the yard, but for whatever reason, I guess they think it's a different street or something. They end up having to turn around, or they're just looking to see what people have got going on, which is kind of my guess, because you get the occasional guy, we know who he is, and everyone knows who he is, and if something comes missing, we know who he is. So, but he used to like to go around and hit people's gas tanks and stuff to get fuel and stuff. I know a lot of people went to locking lids. Understand, he's the type of person that won't deter. He's the type of person that's just going to drill a hole in your tank to get to your fuel. So You know, the best thing you can do is have a dog put up lights and things like that, and have it where they're hooked to motion sensors, so the light comes on, wakes you up, so you know that there's somebody outside. And that's the easiest way to do things, guys. And a lot of those motion lights they have, you can actually buy the solar panels and stuff that go with it. A lot of them are full kits you can put up, and I mean, they will flood a yard with light. And I would recommend investing in some of those. That's going to be a good piece of defense to have. And in areas where you think there might be human traffic or whatever, or even animal traffic, you can put those up. And you want them in areas where you're going to be able to see that the light comes on, because if you got it pointed out away and it's not shining into a window to wake you up, it's kind of pointless at that point. Even if the light comes on, your dog could bark because there's a change in the yard. So those are some good ways that you can kind of help defend around your home, around your projects and stuff like that. And most people, if you come out and confront them, they're going to leave immediately. But if not, and you see someone in the yard, before you confront them, make sure that you have the law on the phone and a way to defend yourself, would be my recommendation. That way everything is done the way it needs to be done legally. Because I don't know what state you're in. There's so many different state laws. It's ridiculous. Some states it's okay to defend your house. Some states it's not. Some states they have to actually be in your house. Some states they have to actually be in the physical act of killing you, and you can only do just enough to get them to stop. And if you go too far, then you might end up in court yourself. Those are more liberal states like California and stuff. So stay away from them state guys. But I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you understand the importance of why on this channel I tell you, get food now. It's not, I'm not making any money from the grocery store that you go shop at, whatever it is, or the farmer's market, which is a lot of times you can find decent deals there. I would still recommend it. We're not going to have one this year in our area. I've been looking, I've been waiting for it. I was excited about it this year. We're not even going to have it because there's not enough farmers interested in it. So that's telling me they're not going to be planting those abundance of crops and things like that as well. So look around, gauge your community. If you're having farmer markets and things like that, chances are you still got a little bit of time to get food at a decent price, and it's going to be a lot fresher than what you buy in a store. But understand you're going to have to can it, dehydrate it, and things like that as well. You can't just buy a bunch of fresh vegetables set on a shelf and it's going to last for years. You have to make sure that you actually go through the process of doing the work. So I think a lot of disconnect between some commenters, not the guys that usually comment, but some of the newer commenters that come in, they like to pop in and they'll comment, well, the way you need to do this is like this. Well, that may be another way to do it. I don't know. But what I do know is the way that I'm showing you, it works. And that's all I can show you. I'm not going to get on here. Some things I might experiment with, but I'm not going to go with an unproven method and show you, hey, this is what you do if it's unproven. It's going to be something that I do. Now, someone may have, tried it themselves, tweaked it around a little bit, and it didn't work for them. Or maybe they was in a different state and it didn't work for them, and that happens. Understand? I'm in Florida. A lot of our commenters and stuff, a lot of our subscribers are from up north, and a lot of these people can't even put in gardens yet. Now they're ready to go. I mean, they're on it. They're getting seeds started. They've got their plants started. I mean, I've seen some amazing little videos and stuff. I try to get in and support, give thumbs up and stuff to people who subscribe to this channel as well, because it's all a community, guys. And so definitely, if you see one of our members or something in here and they're commenting, click on their name, go check out their sites, because a lot of times I know, like Grafted Branch, he's got quail, he's got chicken, he's got a lot of really good projects that he's working on. And the kind of situation I'm in is we don't have a lot of traction on our channels, like to push our channels. So I try to help out other YouTubers and things, just as I was helped out as well. But if I don't ever mention your channel, it's not because I don't agree with the content. Understand, I've got a whole lot of stuff going on when these videos aren't being made. I might sit, I get up about 6 o'clock in the morning, and chicken's usually out by 6:30. I've got the sprinkler running in the yard, and I try to get out before daybreak, especially if I use diatomaceous earth, because that water is going to nullify that stuff. It's no longer going to be, dusty and spreading around and killing bugs. It's going to become cakey. It's going to fall down into the ground, and as you continue to water the ground, it washes down into the ground. And because it's made from things like bones and shells and stuff like that, you're putting calcium into the ground, so you're really going to be helping your plants either way. But that is why I recommend diatomaceous earth. But like anything, you have to use it responsibly. You have to be very responsible with that stuff, or you can cause some issues. So I should have clarified that in the video. That was my fault. So I hope that kind of, gets you to where we're at here just a little bit. But anyway, so I've got some family stuff planned out for this evening, so that's why we're not going to be having a live stream tonight. Sorry guys, we will try to catch one maybe tomorrow morning if we can. I try to do my live streams on Wednesdays, but sometimes things come up, and as much as I enjoy hanging out with everybody, I enjoy hanging out with my dad and family and stuff like that too. So we got a few things that we've got planned. We're gonna go out and have, just go have some family time. And I would recommend that you do the same, because that's going to make it so that you can talk with your family in a setting where you're not preaching at them saying, you need to get prepared. And one of the things that really helps is if you can create a sufficiency program of your own, and then bring them into your self-sufficient living, your lifestyle of what you're doing, and show them what you got and show them where it's saving you money. That is what clicks to people's heads. That's what gets people to follow along and understand each of us are leaders within our own community. Don't settle to just follow. Take the time, educate yourself. If you can't find it on this channel, I know there's a lot of channels on YouTube. There's channels that are dedicated just to gardens, and some of the gardens they do are just amazingly awesome. But for now, I am out of here, guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful day.